Attention duelists, welcome. Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel Watch and Learn, the first one of 2024 on this day. Let's hope that this year don't suck as much as last one did. And while I am loath to start off this year watching a cash match, I am interested at the idea of this deck actually running the Gate Guardians. See if I know how to pick them, and if we can all be thoroughly entertained and educated by watching this play. Weird opener off Duelist Day. Kind of a nothing opener, actually. Opponent uses Pot of Prosperity, banish 6, look at 6. Adds Nibiru. That's surprising. Full pass. Very surprising. Player summons Zephyros, activates Fusion Destiny, sending away Denier and Malicious. Makes DPE. Malicious will banish itself to summon the Twin. Moves to battle. Punches with all of his monsters. Main phase 2, setting Super Polymerization and passing. Dual Speed specials out Fenrir. DPE will pop itself and Fenrir. Opponent uses Triple Tack Talents effect to draw 2. Scareclaw Kashtira will summon itself by banishing Fenrir. Then activates Kashtira Theosis, summoning Unicorn. Unicorn will add Kashtira Birth. Activates Kashtira Birth, using its effect, summoning back the banished Fenrir. Then Super Polymerization is activated, pitching Kazejin, fusing Fenrir and Scareclaw into Garura, Wings of Resonant Life. Kashtira Birth will then activate to banish 3, one of those being DPE. Dual Speed will then summon Zodiac Thoroughblade, which will Xyz itself into Borbo. Moves to battle, Borbo will punch Malicious. Main phase 2, Borbo will Xyz again, turning into Hammer Kong. Hammer Kong will then turn into Drident. Not going into Zeus, passes turn. Mayhaps they lost Zeus with the Prosby. DP is effectively activates, summoning the Malicious that is still in grave. Garura and Zephyros will make Dark the Dark Charmer gloomy. Garura will allow the player to draw a card. Unicorn will then banish a Gate Guardian from the extra deck. Activates Labyrinth Wall Shadow, the new field spell, and Zodiac Drident will chain its effect, detaching Borbo to pop. Then activates Chicken Game. Chicken Game paying 1,000, drawing a card. Zephyros will bounce Chicken Game, summon himself back, reactivate Chicken Game, use the effect again, drawing another card. Opponent activates Droll and Lockbird. 2 monsters tributed for Suijin. Dark will punch over Drident. Suijin over Unicorn. Sets 1 card in the same column as Birth and passes. Dual Speed uses Birth, summon back Unicorn. Chicken Game will then be paid 1,000 to pop. Unicorn will add Kashtira Theosis. Activates it. Summons a Fenrir from deck. Fenrir will add Ogre. Birth effect, being able to summon Ogre. Ogre will add Preparations. Then all 3 will overlay to Kashtira Arise Heart. Moves to battle. Arise Heart punches at Suijin. Suijin will make its attack 0, and Arise Heart will cause the player to lose. I refuse to believe he had no plays and just choose to think he didn't read. Gate Guardian wins. Anyone else look like they got something funny going on? Not seeing anything standing out to me. That guy's running bugs. That's kind of funny. Hey, Type Fruits. Welcome to the stream. Starts off summoning Battle Wasp Sting. The poison, opponent will Ash Blossom its effect. Followed by on the Ash Blossom, Sting will be able to add a Battle Wasp. Adds Twin Bow the attacker. Twin Bow will special summon itself, as will Pin the Bullseye. Pin will deal 200 damage. Twin Bow and Pin will then link together for Insector Picofolina. Pico will pitch Doom Dozer, equipping Resonance Insect to Sting. Then banish, take 3 in the grave, put them back in the deck, draw 1. Picofolina and Sting will then link together for Armor Horn. Resonance Insect effect will activate, adding Sting Lancer. They'll banish Resonance Insect to summon Assault Roller. Resonance Insect effect will allow him to send away Goki Pole. Goki Pole will then add Retaliating Sea. Armor Horn's effect will activate to normal summon Retaliating Sea. All of his bugs on board will then link together for Invincible Atlas. Resonating Sea will activate, adding Max Sea. Armor Horn will banish 3, summon itself. Invincible Atlas will tribute Armor Horn, summon Sting Lancer. Sting Lancer add Fly and Sting. Will then be set and pass. Not a bad bug board. Opponent moves right to battle. End of battle activates evenly matched. Which there's nothing he could do about that, but he did choose to keep Atlas. Opponent sets 2 cards in the back row and passes. Not quite sure what duel he is on. Duelist A summons Max C, uses Atlas, tributing it to summon Scout Buggy, which will summon another Scout Buggy, then banishes 3 bugs to summon Bear Grum. Moves to battle, swings with 2 Scout Buggies, Atlas, and Bear Grum swings. Ice Barrier comes out, putting Bear Grum to 0 attack. Not the end of the match yet. Main 2, both Scout Buggies will overlay into number 3, Cicada King. Passes turn. Player summons Lifeless Leafish. Cicada King will activate its effect. When an opponent's monster activates effect, detach a unit to do a thing. Called by will come out in response, which does not stop Cicada King. Scout Buggy will be banished. Cicada King will turn itself to defense mode. Negate Leafish. Then, because its mode was changed, it'll summon Sting Lancer from hand, which will add Bee Trooper Ascent. Leafish will swing into Invincible Atlas. End of battle, activate a second evenly matched. Unless that last card is a Battle Fader, I think this is going to be the end. Moves right to battle, swing Atlas. And that is the game. Nothing too terribly fancy, but not bad either way. I see one of these duelists is running Watts, so I'm curious to see what he's trying to do. Opponent activates Opening of the Spirit Gates, which will add Dark Summoning Beast. Dark Beckoning Beast, my mistake. Summons it to add Chaos Summoning Beast. Using its effect, tribute itself. Summon Dark Summoning Beast. Dark Summoning Beast will tribute itself to summon Hamon. Summoning Beast will banish itself, add Revile. Using the effect of the Spirit Gates, discarding Summoning Beast, resummoning Summoning Beast, tribute Summoning Beast for Revile. Dark Summoning Beast will then banish itself, add Fallen Paradise, activate Fallen Paradise, use its effect to draw 2, activates Messenger of Peace, activates Cerulean Skyfire, sets 2 more cards in the back row, and pass. Player summons Watt Woodpecker, uses Revile's effect, and activates Wall of Revealing Light. paying 2,000. It's a Phantasm token, sets 2 in the back row, activates Watt Kinetic Puppeteer, discarding it to target one monster opponent controls, move it to a different zone, which does nothing. Messenger Piece, they will not pay the cost, moves Hamon to attack mode, activates Fallen Paradise, Watt Cannon will then activate. Fallen Paradise will return Messenger of Peace to hand. Hamon will swing over the Watt Woodpecker. Hamon will then burn them for 1,000. Activates Thunder Dragon's Honored. Thunder Dragon's 100 Thunders, which what it does doesn't matter because Revile's opponent. Revile's attack still goes through. Watts do exactly what I expected of them and loses. See some God Cads over here. See what they got. We'll move to casual. Or in casual. Move to random. Not a great opener, I'm going to say. Sets 1, activates Mound of the Bound Creator, summons Queen's Knight, and passes. Woodman better setting that. Opponent uses a Duster, activates Metal Reflect Slime, which is still a trap when it's a monster. Duster will sweep up both those cards. Hang on. Oh, right, you're level 10, so you're protected by Mound. Smart. Mound will then add Obelisk the Tormentor, and Duelist B will pass. Summons King's Knight, which will let them add Jack's Knight. Tributes the Guardian Slime for Egyptian God Slime. Moves to battle. Swings with Jack, King, Queen, and the God Slime for exact lethal. I underestimated Duelist A. Wild. Looks like a Dark Magician player, but a terrible opener. That's Imperm and passes. Opponent activates Fusion Destiny. Ash Blossom in response. Fusion Destiny is stopped. Player activates Preta Practice, summons Pretaplant Triantis, which will add Saraceniate. Uses Imperm on it already. Opponent will then set one. Triantis summoned by Preta Practice. Because it was in the same column, the continuous... No, not continuous. Ignore that last sentence. Activates Soul Servant, putting Dark Magician on top of the deck, sets one monster, and passes. Still not looking great for Duelist A. Duelist B summons Destiny Hero Doomlord, which will link away with Predaprant Cordyceps for Verte Anaconda. Verte Anaconda will pay 2,000, send away Neos Fusion, use Rainbow Dark Dragon with Neos for Rainbow Neos, which will tribute Verte, shuffle away the monster on board, Triantis will swing direct, and Neos will do the same. Ironically, if they wouldn't have summoned Ash Blossom, they probably would have been able to survive that. Wouldn't have survived much past that, but would have survived. What in God's name am I looking at? Sets one, summons Protron, which will then link away into Link Spider. That's another one. Link Spider will let him summon the second Protron. Hey, Tap Fruits. Glad you liked them. They were made by Andy's wife. Got those for us. I was pleasantly surprised to see those. I love them. Got on my desk right now. Links away both his monsters for Lan Fornicus. I assume he's just doing some sort of... Oh yeah, it's just the Cyber starter deck. Weird. Opponent summons Inzektor Centipede, sets 4 in the back row. Centipede will swing over land. Passes turn. Activates Link Bound. Opponent will activate Vanquish Soul Snow Devil, revealing Infinitrack Trencher in hand, dealing 400 damage. Land will be returned. He will draw 2 cards, then return 2 cards. Summons Brave Drive. Activates Share the Pain. Both players lose their monsters. Oh, that's awesome. Kind of wanted to get a 3D printer, but I was always curious about how they get the designs for those, because in one of the D&D groups I used to play in, guy printed out a nice little figurine for everyone to have, which there weren't anything hyper detailed, but it was super cool that we could have things that were identified clearly as the characters we were playing. Player summons Text Changer, swings for 100. Passes turn. Duelist B has 5 in the back row now. Keeps swinging with Text Changer, holds on to his Suppression Collider. Duelist B may have shot themselves in the foot with all those back row. Player summons Launcher Commander. His 2 monsters will link together for land once again. Activates Signet Cascade. Summons back Text Changer. Swings with it and land. Passes turn. Duelist B activates Meat Recipe, using Trencher to summon Confidus de Nouvelle. Weird that he's running Infinitrax, Inzektors, and Nouvelles. Oh, that's really cute imagery. Confidus will swing at Text Changer, which then summons Suppression Collider from the deck. Is your Instagram at the same name you're using here? We'll bring that up and draw some attention to it to let people know the good work that you're doing out there putting Karibo into the world. Player summons Brave Drive. Land will punch over Confidus. All monsters attack. Brave Drive will pitch Suppression Collider from hand to buff up the second one. Nice. I'll make sure we take a look at that later. Player summons Fire King Avatar Arvada. Attacks Brave Drive. Text Changer will bring back Suppression Collider. Cancels the attack. Summons Bit Trooper. Brave Drive, Bit Trooper, and Text Changer will make Decode Talker. Suppression Collider swings over Arvada. And Decode punches for game. Like we got a Ra Purist in this one. Activates Ancient Chant, sets Holding Arms, adds Winged Dragon of Ra. Banishes Ancient Chant, which does nothing this turn, because he has no way to quick summon Ra. Opponent activates the Hidden City, adding Subterran Nemesis Archer. Summons Archer, swings at Holding Arms, destroys it by battle, sets 3 in the back row, and passes back to Ra. Draws Metal Reflect Slime. Summons Holding Arms, which will then bounce all set spells and traps. Sets Metal Reflect Slime and passes. Battle phase, player swings, Metal Reflect Slime is activated and set. Holding Arms is destroyed. Subterror resets their back row. Draws Reactor Slime. Tributes Reflect Slime for the God Slime. Tributes the God Slime for Ra. Ra will pay, so he only has 100 life points left. When he swings, opponent activates Summon Limit. Nemesis Archer will then set Subterra Guru because it was destroyed. Now, this was the time where he would have wanted to activate Ancient Chant. That way, Ra could have had an additional 3,000 attack points from Tributing God Slime, and he could have won. Call that a blunder. Player flips up Subterra Guru, which adds Behemoth Umastrix. Using its effect, flips Ra face down, making it go back to 0. Umastrix is then summoned because cards were flipped down. It'll flip itself down. Hidden City will flip it up, which will then banish Ra. Move to battle. Umastrix swings for game. Oh, Ra. If only you had the effect to actually keep the stats of the monsters tributed for you to begin with. Would have been viable. Player activates Runes of the Divine Dragon Lord, sets 2 in the back row, and passes. Opponent summons White Stone of Legend. Sage with Eyes of Blue will discard itself, send the White Stone away, summon Dragon Spirit of White. White Stone's effect will activate, as will Dragon Spirit, which will target the Dragon Lord's card and banish it. Gets to add Blue Eyes thanks to the stone. Moves to battle. Spirit will swing for 2,500 and pass it. Draws Arcbrave Dragon. Does nothing with any of his cards. Player activates Fusion Deployment, showing Blue Eyes Twin Burst to summon a Blue Eyes. Sets 1 monster, swings with Dragon Spirit. Checksum Dragon will activate, summoning itself. In response, gaining some life points. Spirit Dragon will tag out for Blue Eyes. Player activates Tidying, bouncing Checksum and the Blue Eyes that was just brought out. Does the exact same thing again when the Blue Eyes attacks, activating Dragon's Rebirth, targeting Checksum. Banishing it, summoning Arcbrave. Blue Eyes then swings over Arcbrave. Sets Dragon Maid Changeover and passes. Not looking good for Duelist A. Duelist B sets 1, Blue Eyes Punch Direct. Draws Chamber Dragon Maid. He might have something here. Summons her, does not use her effect to add a card. Links her away for Striker Dragon. Activates Dragon's Mirror. Using Arcbrave with Chamber. Make Dragon Maid Sheo. Sheo will swing over Blue Eyes. Striker will swing over White Stone of Legend, which effect will activate but will not add anything. I assume he has all the Blue Eyes already. Activates Return of the Dragon Lord, summoning back the Dragon Spirit of White. Dragon Spirit will target the last set card and activate its effect, chaining its own effect to tribute itself for a Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes on board. Changeover is banished, moves to battle. Blue Eyes punches over Striker Dragon. Passes turn. Draws Parlor. Sheo will let them summon Parlor for free. Parlor will send away Tidying. Moves to battle. Swing at Blue Eyes, but will banish Return of the Dragon Lords to prevent the destruction. Passes it to Duelist B. Duelist B activates Fusion Deployment, showing Blue Eyes Ultimate. There's the third Blue Eyes. He did have it. Then will Contact Fuse his Blue Eyes away for Twin Burst, which will then punch over Parlor. Sheo's effect will activate, resummon Parlor. Parlor will send away Kitchen. Dragon Maid Tidying will banish itself. Summon Kitchen. Kitchen will add Chamber, and then have to discard Chamber. Moves to battle. Sheo swings at Twin Burst. Sets 1 card. Kitchen and Parlor will then make Hieratic Seal. Twin Burst cannot be destroyed by battle, so it's still hanging out. Sheo will use her effect, summon Chamber. Chamber will add Dragon Maid Hospitality. Dual Speed activates Polymerization using the Dark Hex Sealed Fusion and the White Stone of Ancients for Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon. White Stone will banish itself, target Blue Eyes, add it back to hand. Moves to battle. Tyrant will swing at the Sphere. At no point did Duelist A use Sphere's effect or Shadow's effect to negate. And as a result of not using monsters' effects, they lost. Blue Eyes wins. Speaking of Blue Eyes, we got another one. Now we're looking at their cards. Activates Dragon Shrine, sending away Blue Eyes and Jet Dragon. Dictator of D will activate, sending Blue Eyes away from deck to summon itself. Discards Dragon Spirit of White, targeting Blue Eyes, summoning it to the field. Summons White Stone of Ancients, which will then sync together with the Blue Eyes for Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. Ends his turn. During the end phase, the White Stone will summon Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon, which will add Chaos form. We'll also add Chaos Emperor, the Pendulum Monster, Dragon of Armageddon. Opponent's turn summons Blackwing Gale the Whirlwind. Blackwing Damascus, the Polar Knight, will activate its effect, discarding itself, bumping up the effective power of Gale. Vada will activate its effect, summoning itself for controlling Gale, activates Black Feather Whirlwind. Sets 2. Gale's effect will activate, having the stats of Spirit Dragon. Vada will then tribute itself. Send away a bunch from deck, summon Black Winged Dragon. Black Whirlwind will activate, targeting Pollute the Moon Shadow, summoning it to the field, which will then sync together with Gale for Boreaster, the Wicked Wind. Boreaster will send a card from deck to grave, modifying his level, then syncing together with Black Winged for Black Winged Assault Dragon. A second Black Winged Assault Dragon will be summoned by banishing those two synchro monsters. Dictator of D will activate, choosing the attack targets. This will make him forced to swing at Abyss, and Jet Dragon will then come out, because the card was destroyed. The Black Winged Assault will then burn, because it does have a burn effect. Attempts to swing, Jet will bounce one of them. During the end phase, the Dragon Spirit of White, Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon will go away. The Azure Eyes Silver Dragon can come out. And they are still getting burned by Assault Dragon. Draw Sage with Eyes of Blue. Azure Eyes will activate. Black Winged Assault will activate its effect, tributing itself with 4 counters to wipe the board. However, Blue Eyes Jet Dragon prevents other cards they control from being destroyed. And Azure Eyes also prevents them from being destroyed because it still has protections for the turn. Though Dragon Spirit of White comes out, there is lethal on board, and Duelist B just cleared their own field. All monsters to attack mode. Azure Eyes goes direct, Spirit Dragon follow-up, and Jet for the finish. Blue Eyes beats Blackwing because Blackwing didn't read. Runic Stun, the degenerate Runic who doesn't like fun, activates Flashing Fire, summoning Hugin of the Runic Wings. Hugin's effect will activate, pitching away a Synchro Zone, adding Runic Fountain. Activate the Fountain. Sets 1 activates Runic Golden Droplets. Fountain will chain. The opponent is running the Gaia starter deck. He's got the sleeves for it. And the 60 card deck. Weird. Fountain's effect will activate, targeting the 2 Runic Quick Plays in gray, put them back in the deck, shuffle up. Draw 2. Pass his turn. Duels B. Sets 1, specials out Arisen Gaia. Swings over Hugin. Hugin will return herself to the extra deck. Passes. Activates Freezing Curses. Summoning back Hugin. Fountain effect. spins his card, gets Upstart, activates, gets Runic Tip, activate the tip, get Runic Slumber, pass to the opponent. Opponent summons Ninja Grandmaster Hanzo. Peekaboo will activate. Hanzo has to go away. His effect will still go through. Adding Ninjutsu Scroll. Notebook. Activates the notebook, setting Kagero the Cannon Ninja. Arisen Guy will swing at Hugin once again. Activates Runic Slumber. Targeting Hugin to give her protections. Activates Runic Destruction, popping the back row. Slumber protects the baby. And we're back to Duelist A. Activates Smiting Storm, banishing 2. I saw Dawn Zalug. Fountain will spin more cards. Sets 2, sets Inspector Border because he's a freak. Activates Pot of Duality. Adds Flashing Fire. Duelist B's turn, summons Vorse Raider, activates Flashing Fire, targeting the set card. Chains Grave of the Super Beast, Super Ancient Organism, proper name. Pops the card, banishes cards. Fountain will activate, targeting 1. Spins it, draws. Player sets card, activates Fountain. Pops that card immediately. Arisen Gaia swings over the border. Vorse Raider swings over Hugin. Hugin goes back to the extra deck. Passes it to Duelist A, who gets Skill Drain. You're gross. Player summons Skilled Blue Magician, swings with all of his monsters. Duelist A down to 2,000, right where they belong. That's what you get for playing a stun deck. Draws Gozen Match. Activates Card of Demise after setting 1, getting Torrential Tribute, sets it. If Duelist B does not summon and just goes right to battle, they can win. They set a monster. They swing, opponent activates Gozen Match. Dark was declared. And lethal damage is dealt. Runic Stun loses to whatever the hell that was. Speaking of whatever the hell that is, player summons Divine Dragon Ragnarok, sets 2 in the back row, 1 is Revolt, and passes. Opponent puts Odd Eyes in the scale, and Skullcrobat Joker activates Spiral Flame Strike. Guard Dragon Cataclysm will activate, Prohibiting Ragnarok, targeting 2. Chains Pendulum Impenetrable, making his Pendulum monsters indestructible for the turn. Adds Phantom Dragon. Then moves to Pendulum Summoning. He's there, the Phantom of the Odd Eyes, who swings and then burns for some damage. Odd Eyes will pop itself, add Dragon Pit. And passes. Player summons the Bestial Aluber, discards back to square 1, taking control of the Phantom of the Opera. And the card is passed back during the end phase. Duelist B puts Dragon Pit in the scale. Summons Time Gazer Magician. Swings both his monsters. Sets 1 in the back row. Passes. I'm betting on Duelist B in this one. Duelist A summons the Dark Hex-Sealed Fusion. Player activates Pendulum Switch, bringing Dragon Pit forward from the Pendulum Zone. Dark Hex-Sealed will punch at the monster. That is Time Gazer. Take some damage. Harmonizing Magician put in the scale. Pendulum Switch will move her forward. Puts Odd Eyes Phoenix in the scale. Now Pendulum summons. Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. Moves to battle. Swings with the Phantom. And if you want to call that a match, I guess we'll call that game. Got a couple of weird ones starting the year off. Dragon starter deck. Opponent uses Water Enchantress, banishing herself, adding Rite of Aramesir. Activates the Rite of Aramesir, summoning the token. Activating Fateful Adventure from the deck. Fateful Adventure, adding Magicore, Warrior of the Relics. Sending Draco back to grave. Draco back will then equip itself to the token. Magicore will summon himself. Fateful Adventure will then equip another card, which is Duel. Specials out the Wandering Griffin Rider, summons Agent of Mystery Earth, and passes. Actual adventure cards. Player summons Luster Dragon. Fateful Adventure will add another Duel. Activate Stamping Destruction, targeting Duel. Wandering Griffin Rider will activate to negate. Spinning itself. Battle phase, Luster Dragon swings over Earth. Passes it to Duelist B. Duelist B uses the adventure, add Wandering Griffin Rider back, tributes Duel. Griffin Rider summons self. Summons Nova Summoner. Draco back will bounce Luster Dragon. Lethal on board. Swings Nova. Griffin Rider. Magicore. And big token for game. I applaud them for actually running the adventure cards. Synchro starter deck. Opponent sets 2, activates Cyberdark Realm, adding Cyberdark Keel. Summons Keel, which has no targets, and passes. Player sets 1, summons Max Warrior, swings at Keel. It's a little bit bigger for that battle. Max Warrior then goes to half stats afterwards, and passes. Duelist B activates Unexpected Die, chaining Call of the Haunted. Call of the Haunted brings back Keel. Die summons Luster Dragon. Those two are then tributed for Blue Eyes White Dragon. Blue Eyes will attack, activate Silver's Cry, summoning back the Luster Dragon. Swings over the Max Warrior and direct with Luster. Duelist A at 4,000. Sets 1, sets another back row, and passes. Duelist B summons Blade Knight. Blade Knight swings over Rockstone. Blue Eyes and Luster go direct for game. These are weird matches today. We gotta get a little bit of meta norminess in this. Whole lot of Blue Eyes. Oh, it's the Utopia auto win. Duelist B fires off Max C, which if they get the right cards off it, it might get them the win. Ascended Sage is specialed out. Astraltopia summoned. Those two turn into Utopia. Player set Trap Trick. Utopia is able to add Rank Up Magic Utopia Force, thanks to its materials. Utopia will then turn into Utopia Ray. Activates Rank Up Magic Utopia Force, targeting Utopia Ray, turning it into Utopia Dragonar. Dragonar will detach 2. Summon Numeron Dragon. Utopia Force will then attach itself to the Numeron Dragon. Dragon will detach material, become a 13,000 point monster. Duelist B draws for turn, activates Max C immediately. Duelist A activates Trap Trick, sending away Destruct Potion, setting a new one. Activates it, targeting Numeron Dragon. Dragonar will chain, detaching 2 materials, going to summon the Manipulator of Souls. Good old number 43. Destruct Potion will blow up the Numeron Dragon. Player will then gain 13,000 life points. Manipulator of Souls. Whenever you gain life points, once per turn, it gains an amount of attack equal to that, and then inflict that much damage. So here comes 13,000. Opponent did not get any of the hand traps that could have gotten them out of that. Which would be Ghost Ogre before Manipulator is brought out, or Imperm. Or Veiler, I guess. Kashtira Fire Formation. Interesting. Duelist A, full passing on nothing. Duelist B, summons Dogmatica Ecclesia, adding Dogmatic Calamity. Droll and Lockbird firing off in response. Will resolve, Dogmatic Calamity will activate, sending away Despian Luluwalith to make Albazoa. Maximus will then activate, banishing Luluwalith, summoning itself. Is Walleth the right name? Yes, it is. Luluwalith. Silly name. Maximus will then activate its effect, sending away 2 cards from each player's extra deck. Albazoa will then activate, sending away more. Maximus will swing, Ecclesia will swing, and Albazoa. Duelist A not using Battle Fader. That's surprising. Luluwalith will then activate its effect, summoning the Iris Sword Soul. 1 card in the back row, passing it to Duelist A. Activates Fire Formation Tenki. Max C will fire off. Tenki adding Zodiac Ratpierre. Activates Triple Attack to draw 2. Moves to the end phase. Looks like Duelist B's got this one. Using the effect of Albazoa. Sending cards away. Maximus sending away more. Garura went away, as did the Herald of the Arclight. Ash Blossom in response to Arclight. Garura will still resolve. Not that that really matters for what's about to happen. Ecclesia is tributed for Blizzard Princess, who will swing. Battle Fader will come out. The Iris Sword Soul will activate its effect in response with Bringuinol chaining. Bringuinol will summon another Ecclesia. The Iris Sword Soul will do nothing really. Ecclesia will then add Dogmatica Matrix. The battle phase has been ended. Player activates Dogmatica Matrix, adding Dogmatica Macabre, which will add another Matrix. Matrix will send away a card from the opponent's extra deck. They have 2 cards left. Battle Fader moves to attack mode. Slams its own face into Albazoa, because that's all she wrote. Not quite sure what this guy's trying to pull off. Ascended Sage and Tenny Spirit Shatana come out. Turning into Utopia. 1 card in the back row. Is this the exact same deck? Yes, it is. Adds Rank Up Force. Utopia Ray activates Rank Up Force. Turn into Dragonar. Dragonar effect. Bestial Jerusalem will activate, banishing Utopia, summoning itself. Numeron Dragon is here. Utopia Force attaches. Utopia Force detach. Numeron Dragon 13,000. Draw for turn. Destruct Potion. Dragonar. Manipulator of Souls. Heal Blow Up. There's still a bot problem in this game. Still a Kashtira problem in this game. Activates Pot of Prosby, banishing 3. Taking Riseheart. Summons Riseheart. Sends away Fenrir, banishes a few, modulates its level, activates Birth. Birth will summon back Fenrir. Fenrir will add Tearlament's Kashtira. 2 cash on board will overlay into Galaxy Tomahawk. Tomahawk will detach its materials, summon a bunch of tokens. Tomahawk and a token will then link together, making IP Masquerena. 2 more tokens will link together, making Security Dragon. Another token will link off into Link Spider. Helaman's Cashier will summon herself, banishing Fenrir. Mill some of the opponent's cards. Saranir was milled, which will use its effect. Then every monster on board will be linked away for the arrival Cybers Adagnister. Using 3 monsters with different attributes, but using 5. So we have a big old towers on board. Scareclaw Cash will then summon itself by banishing Riseheart. Activates Cashier Theosis, summoning Unicorn. Unicorn will add Cashier Birth. Both caches on board will then turn into Shangri-Ira. That's 1. Bestial Saranir will activate, banishing IP. Now Duelist B's turn. Shangri-Ira's effect will activate, Maxi will chain. Ira will summon Unicorn. Player summons Guiding Quem. Unicorn's effect will activate. Branded in High Spirits will chain. Reveals Bestial Lubellion in hand. Sends away Briggerand. Adding Blazing Cartesia. Unicorn will banish Alba Lanatus. Cashier Birth will activate, targeting 3 to banish. Shangri-Ira will block a zone. There goes Bestial Lubellion. Ira will block another zone. Still had a Lubellion in hand, which will discard itself to add Druisworm. Then tribute Saranir on board to summon himself back. Saranir and Grave will send away Bestial Alubur. Activating Branded Beast thanks to Lubellion's effect, summons Blazing Cartesia. Banish 1, summon Saranir. Druisworm. Saranir's the one that's already gone. Both Bestials on board will turn into Verte Anaconda. Guiding Quem will activate her effect, targeting Alubur. Bestial Druisworm's effect will activate, getting rid of Ira, freeing up those zones. Quem summons Alubur. Cartesia will then quick fuse herself with Alubur for Albion the Branded. Albion's effect will activate, banishing 2 to do a fusion of Lubellion the Searing. Lubellion will discard Branded Opening, using Cartesia and Alubur into Granguinol the Dusk. Granguinol's effect, sending away the cool dragon, Rindabrum, because if you look very closely, you can see that it has glasses on. Those are cool. In exchange, it's able to... No, that already happened. Copied the effect, doing a Branded Fusion into Mirror Jade. Branded Retribution will activate, targeting Branded and High Spirits. Banishing itself, add that back to hand. Moves to battle. Mirror Jade will banish Albion to banish Unicorn. Still does not have an answer to the tower. And then I'm going to assume this is about to say time limit. Yes, it does. Duelist A wins due to time and a tower that cannot be outed by anything they had. That's why you gotta run. Blah. That's why you have to run Underworld, Goddess. We got a Labyrinth. Duelist B activates card destruction. Both players pitch their whole hands. Duelist B summons Punk Zayamin, which will pay 600 to add Ogre Dance. Ogre Dance will discard itself, add another Zayamin. Dear Note in hand, show the Zayamin in hand. Maxi will now activate in response. Duelist B will activate their Maxi in response, which does not make sense. Dear Note is summoned, Zayamin is pitched. Dear Note and Zayamin on board will sync together. For Chaos Ruler, while you still can, I guess. Chaos Ruler will excavate. Your note's effect will activate, targeting a punk. Summoning back Ogre Dance. Chaos Ruler had some gross hits and will add Tearlament's Sharon. All Beast went to grave, so they get to draw one, which will be... Doesn't matter. Sharon will then summon herself by discarding one, milling a few. Overlays their monsters into the Zombie Vampire. Zombie Vamp, discarding Chaos Ruler. Attaching Chaos Ruler, summoning monsters. Is he just trying to do the Max C challenge now? Four-Mage Trick Clown's effect will activate. Summoning itself, burning for 1,000. Sinks away 3 monsters on board for Baron de Fleur. Finishes a few to summon the Chaos Creator. Thunder Dragon Dark's effect will activate to add Dragon Roar. Chaos Ruler's effect will activate, banishing 2. Summoning himself, 17 cards left, 16. Necro Shinobi will summon itself. Sinks away with Chaos Ruler for the Bestial Dispater. Bestial Dispater, summon Chaos Ruler, summon it back once again. Chaos Ruler, Zombie Vampire, and Chaos Creator all link together. For Curious, the Lightsworn Dominion. Curious effect will attempt to activate. Ash Blossom enjoys Spring Response. Baron de Fleur to negate. Curious effect will go through, sending away Havness. Curious effect will then activate. Havness is chained 2. Havness fusing itself with Sharon. For Kit Kalos. Curious milling 3. Kit Kalos effect. Infinite Impermanence effect in response. Kit Kalos is stopped, but the madness will continue. Baron de Fleur will pop Kit Kalos. Kit Kalos will then mill 5. Tearlament's Cashtera was hit. Mill some more. Dragon Roar will discard itself, add Dragon Hawk. Curious and Baron will then link together. Cross Sheep. Dragon Hawk will discard itself, summon Dragon Dark, which will then send itself away for Colossus. And Cross. Because Colossus was brought back, Cross Sheep was able to bring back the monster Nemesis Umbrella. Then those two will link away into Sprite Elf. 6 cards left. Umbrella will target Corridor, add it back to hand. Corridor effect. Target a banished card to summon itself. Fairy Tale Snow will banish 7 to summon itself. Both monsters on board. Trick Clown goes back in the deck. 4 cards left. Necroface was hit. Mill cards. Necroface hit Necroface. Mill again. All monsters on board get linked together. For Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess. No more cards in deck. That's the game. The Max C Challenge. I'm super satisfied that being the last match we watch in this video. So, that's going to be the end. Now, anyone watching this video might wonder what Type Fruits was talking about the Karibo Funkos that were posted on the socials. That is because I am a part of a podcasting duo that are the Karibros. We recap the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime, talking about the sub, the dub, the manga, and all things that we find funny about it. There'll be links to that posted in the description below if you're watching this on YouTube. And what he's just talking about there was we got some custom-made Karibo Funkos that were adjusted to look like our avatars that we use for the podcast that were made by my co-host's lovely wife. You can see those on our Instagram social. So check those out if that interests you. And also, check out Type Fruit's Instagram to see those 3D printed Karibos he made. I'm sure they look lovely. Matter of fact, let me look up right now. People are real big on live reactions, although they're not going to get a face cam out of me. Oh, those are adorable. I love those. Oh, you got the ones with little scapegoats too. Those are really nice. I love these actually. These are awesome. I like the pot of greed too. These look rad. Everyone, check out Type Fruit's Instagram. The 3D print stuff looks awesome. I'm actually liking all this art stuff. I just saw the Exodia post. That's funny. People want to see these jokes. Look at them yourself. Very good. Anyway, that's the plug. Thank all of you for watching so much, especially you, Type Fruits. Always nice to see that the podcast has helped bring in viewers. Links to that below. Check it out. I'm Phoenix. You've been watching. This is the first Watch and Learn of the new year, 2024. Let's hope this one is better. Bye, everyone.